All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue our last season with the San Jose Sharks. We just started the simulation in the last video. It started off pretty good. I think we were 6-1-1, but then we hit a rough patch, 11-8-2. But it's still very early on in the season. But I was asking you guys in the last video what changes should be made, and same old, Joffrey Lupul. He's not getting it done. We should make that trade. We've tried him out so far in the season, and you know what? You guys do have a point. He's just not getting it done on that first line. We were a President's Trophy winning team last year, but we want that first line to try and be as close to point per game seasons as they can be. And I mean, 12 points in 21 games, 5 goals as well as a first line sniper. There is something better out there that we can find. I like Joffrey Lupul's stats all around as a sniper. He's pretty good, except for that shooting category. Right now, 10 years into the NHL, you can find guys with like 90 overall for power, 95 overall for power. I'm sure like Reed Boucher, even our second line sniper, he's got 97 in there and 99 in there. McFarland, he's a first line sniper. He's got 294s and a 99. So we got to find somebody with a better shooting category than Joffrey Lupul on that first line. I agree. I'm bought into that. So we can do that right now. I won't start any more simulating. We'll start off with a trade. And I've already done a little bit of pre-scouting just because Valentin Saikov wasn't working out with the LA Kings. And, in the past, we've been able to bring in players that have just been coming into their prime. Del Call was one. Reed Boucher, he turned out to be a good player. So I used the trading block. I think I actually deleted it. Yeah, I did. But I remember the team, remember the player. I don't know if he's a real player or not 10 years in. I have seen the name a little bit. But he's on the Calgary Flames. He's a left winger. I'm hoping that he can play the right wing still. I think it's Andrew Mangiapane. The reason I like this player is look at that shooting category. He's a sniper. He's a left wing sniper. Slap shot accuracy 97, and then 99s down the board. Puck skills is 5-star. Senses, this is where it's not as high up as a Joffrey Lupul or Reed Boucher, but it's still 84, and his discipline is 80. Skating is decent. Physical is non-existent except for the body checking category. But defense is actually not that bad. It's not any worse than Joffrey Lupul's. I'll just quickly bring up Joffrey Lupul's player card just so you guys can quickly do a quick comparison. All right, there you go. Look at Joffrey Lupul's defense, 84 with an 81 and an 83. It's pretty much the exact same, right? So the only thing Joffrey Lupul really has is the census category. At 4.5 stars, that's a lot better. I think even a guy like Reed Boucher, who some of you guys were saying we should put him up on the first line. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that, but I just like him alongside of Del Call. They on the second line, they do great together, so I don't want to break them up. But if we go back to Mangiapane, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think those stats are an upgrade from Joffrey Lupul, right? And what I really like about this trade is that it will save me some trade value. Hang on, I'll just show you. Where is it? There it is. His trade value is nowhere near as much as Valentin Saikov, right? Now, I did not know this in the last video. You guys pointed it out. This guy, Tomasek, that we signed, he actually got pretty decent trade value right now. He's playing down in the AHL. He's got a pretty decent defensive awareness. And I remember when I saw that, I said that he could be a depth NHL player when it comes to the playoffs. Maybe a trading asset, but I had not realized that it got that high. Now he's a two-way forward. I don't think I want to use him on my team. He could replace Adam Ernie, sure, but that's a good trading asset, right? And what I was thinking is that with this trading, with this small trading value for Mangiapane, I think I might be able to get him for just Joffrey Lupul and another player, which leaves me open for another trade come trade deadline. So I can make this trade right now, see how our team plays, end the video, and you guys can see, whether or not we need another defenseman or another winger in the team, So I think I can get this guy and not give up too much. I know I can get Valentin Saikov now if I wanted to, but I'd have to give up Joffrey Lupul and this guy. And this guy's got decent trade value. His cap is nice. He's young, right? So I want to try out this Mangiapane. So Joffrey Lupul, that's not going to go through. Okay, so let me just go through my team here. So Tomasek, I don't want to give up. This guy, Points, I think he was a playmaker. He's got a decent defensive category as well. Offensive awareness is really good, but we're not using him on the team. This is one of those players I signed for a trading asset. So there you go. Points, left wingers now. I'm using. Brandon Lemieux, maybe. I would like to hold on to him. See, a guy like Anthony Duclair, he didn't get the jump. I think it was like Duclair that I was looking at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I must have just missed Tomasek. That's a decent trade value right there. Dozy I can put in there, but not much trade value. Ernie, no. So nobody really there. No one really there. All right, so Point and Lemieux. Point and Lupul for Mangiapane. I could try that. Yeah, I might as well try it. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, what else could I put in? Oh, I could put this Suter. It's Rocky Suter, who's the guy that I drafted in the first round, right? Yeah, only 3-star offensive defenseman. I drafted him 26th. Yeah, I don't need him. You guys said go all out this year, you know, so whatever, we'll do it. I'm not going to use this guy anyways. So Lupul, Point, and Suter for Mangiapane. Will it go through? Okay, still not. Wow. Hopefully they can accept another player here. Let me just go to the best players. Need all you guys. I can use Tomasek, but I thought I could maybe sway this trade without it. Helm, Dozy. Yeah, Dozy was the next one. Damn, really nobody else with some trade value. Point, I guess, was a decent one. Helm is the enforcer. I want to hold on to him. Dozy, yeah, you can go. All right, at least they can accept that. That's good. Will that go through? Yes, it did. All right, perfect. So Dozy added to that, and we got Mangiapane. So Joffrey Lupul out the door. Welcome the new younger left winger, but I'm hoping that he can play the right side, Mangiapane. And also, we still have Tomasek for a trading asset, along with the player that we would be shipping out if we're making that trade, right? So let me just go to line changes, and I'll just tell you what the plan is, because I'm going to stop it come the trade deadline, unless we like win every single game from now till then, which won't happen, but you know what I mean. I'll get you guys to look at the stats again, because I really want to fine-tune this team for the playoff run. So there's the first line. You got Pete Walton, Anthony McFarland, and Andrew Mangiapane, all right? And then we're going to keep everything else the same way. But if I need to make that trade, say we want to get a better first-line right winger, you guys think that maybe a more established first-liner who becomes available at the trade deadline, well, now we can move Mangiapane down, go Reed Boucher, Delcall, and Mangiapane, and trade, like move Couturier down and trade Reichel with Tomasek for a better first-line right winger, you see? And we still have Mangiapane. So that's why I don't want to make that trade right now, and that's why I made the trade, because his trade value was not that high up with that great shot. So we still have a trade in the books, but I'm going to wait till trade deadline so you guys can see how our team plays. So everything else, other than Joffrey Lupul switching with Mangiapane, everything else is staying the same for right now. All right, so there's my plan, Stan. But all you guys thinking that, oh, you know what? I should put him on the 4-man power play. Reed Boucher. You know what, Reed? I'm going to take you off for the 4-man. You know what? Defense? No, I'll play the defenders. No, I'll take off Reed Boucher. Try this Mangiapane guy. He's got the better shot than Reed. We'll try him out. Penalty kill, Couturier. Yeah, that's all fine. The penalty kill is fine. What's his name is playing a Vezina Trophy type season again is Ernest Shirelli, so we're fine for that. AHL, right, because I did the... I can just go best lines, right? Do I have to actually do anything in the AHL? Let's see this. No, not really. No, I don't have to touch anything. All right, so there are our new lines, all right? So keep in mind we still have one trade that we can, and it's a pretty sizable trade as well, the roster player with Tomasek, and I still have my first overall as well. I can trade that also. So that's that taken care of. Now, quickly, before we start the simulating, because we're only going up to the trade deadline in this video, let us quickly just show you guys these stats so we can get them in our minds. So goals for per game, 2.43. The important one, goals against per game, 2.14. That's a really good one. Power play percentage got to go up, 16%. Penalty kill percentage, 83.3. That's all right, especially with our goals against. And the power play should go up now, right? Because of, well, we're hoping with Mangiapane in there instead of Joffrey Lupul. And one quick look at the player stats this season. I also want to see, man, I gotta get a nickname for this guy, Mangiapane, to say it every time. Jesus. Maggie maybe or something. You know what? It'll come to mind as he produces. Maybe Captain Maggie? Who knows? Forwards. All right, so where is he? Oh, has he not played much? What the hell? Has he not played a game? Maybe he only played... I should have looked at his stats for you guys. Maybe he only played AHL so far this season. Yeah, I'll just quickly take a look at it. Why not? Edit lines. I didn't actually show you guys his stats. I didn't even look at them. Yeah, he was playing in the AHL. So last year he had 34. He wasn't even playing anywhere this year. They had him like... Yeah, they had him like just on the bench or something in... Wait, is it 2021? If it's not 2020, yeah, they just had him on the bench. They weren't even playing him this year. So we picked up a dude who the Calgary Flames thought of as a player that should not be playing. $1 million salary cap. So let's see if that trade was useful for our team, or it's going to be a big dud. It's perfect now because I know exactly how many games played he has and how many points. He's starting right now. So 0-0. So what was Joffrey Lupul at? Like 5 goals? You know, he looked like he was on pace for his maybe 20-goal season, probably 40 points, somewhere around there. So 0.5 per game, 0.5 points per game on that first line with those 2 young studs. Let's see what this new Captain Maggie can do for us. All right, so there you go. We'll go ahead here. I'll just fly ahead because let's go to the trade deadline. Really can't do much. I feel like this team is a no-brainer to be a playoff team. I hope I don't jinx myself. But Ernest Shirelli, I mean, he's no longer a rookie. He's a Vezina Trophy winning goalie. It's kind of funny, too, because we're 10 years in. You can look at this team and be like, oh, man, Ernest Shirelli is not only an amazing goalie, but right now, 10 years in, he's possibly the best goaltender in the world. And we drafted him in year 1. So a year 1 draft goaltender, 10 years in, has become arguably, I won't say the best, but arguably the best goaltender in the world, right? So that's cool to see. And also all just these younger players like Konechev. Oh, I didn't draft Konechev, but still. I like seeing all these younger guys out here. Oh, man. What was I going to say? I had a point there. Shit. I was going to talk about the NHL draft. Oh, you know what? I forgot my point. But the NHL draft, man, crazy day. And I'm actually staying up all night because I want to see free agency today, man. A lot of rumored moves. I don't know if it's all going to happen day one. Paul Stastny, even Josh George is rumored traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but he doesn't want to come here. What the hell? Daniel Briere to the Colorado Avalanche for PA Parento. So it's been a crazy offseason. The first overall picks wasn't traded away, which was the smart move by the Florida Panthers. No sense in trading that, right? So they went ahead with Aaron Ekblad. The Edmonton Oilers, I mean, Sam Gagner, what the hell happened there? Traded for a 6th. I guess Tampa Bay was just unloading cap space. So I think I'll come up with a what's it called? A whole off-season video. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'll do like a draft video and like a free agency video, all that stuff. Don't you worry. All right. But 18, 12, and 3, yeah, you know what? It's early in the morning. I can't even think right now. I forget where we were at. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Oh, you know what? I remember my point now. Yes. It looks like we're going to be a playoff team, right? Because we have Ernest Shirelli in the net. We have the studs up front. We have the offense. But I don't really care about coming first overall or getting the President's Trophy because we've had 2 great seasons in a row where we've lost in the first round. So I just want to get to the playoffs. It doesn't matter if we're 8th seed because once we're in the playoffs, it's clear anything can happen with the simulation engine, right? So it doesn't matter who we match up against. It doesn't matter about home ice advantage, apparently. I just want to make sure that we get to the playoffs. And once we get there, have the right pieces in place. You guys are saying more offense. It takes superstar offense in this game to really produce. So we're going to see. We're going to see with this trade, with the offense that we got. If we need more offense, we still have the trade. If we want to replace Morrison, I think it is, I believe it's Morrison, our top 6 defenseman who's listed as an enforcer, we can do that. We've always had an injury every single year, right? So it wouldn't be horrible to hold on to Thomas Sek because I think we can guarantee ourselves a forward injury in the first round and a defensive injury. You know, maybe we make a trade for a depth defenseman. A deep playoff run. It's almost guaranteed that we're going to lose somebody in our top. I hate to jinx it because you're going to look back at this video and be like, yeah, he jinxed it, but you know it's going to happen, man. The injuries, they don't help out with the or the upgrades really don't seem like they help out too much. I'll get one guy for sure. It may not go more than that, 1 or 2, but you'll get the one for sure. So having that one forward ready, and he's a 2-way forward with a great defensive category, so you could play any minutes. You know, I could put him on the first line if I had to. I'm sure he'd do okay. He's got that great shot as well. Yeah, he'd probably score some goals. So it's a lot of questions. So when it comes to the trade deadline, right? I know you guys are gonna want to see the big trade, you know, for Stamkos or Tavares or Alexander Ovechkin. But we're gonna look at the stats again and really try to see what we need to win the Stanley Cup. It's hard to say what we lost against the LA Kings. Because I don't think it was our defense. I think our defense was there. I think Ernest Shirelli's a great goaltender. I think we just went up against Jonathan Quick, who's 91 overall. You know, I think Ernest Shirelli may win the Vezina because he plays on a good regular season team, and maybe with the automated goal rotations, he gets more games played. I don't know how it works with the computers and the simulation, right? But when it comes to the playoffs, and I'm doing that in-game simulation, Jonathan Quick probably is 10 times better than Ernest Chiarelli because the more well-rounded stats, the overall being higher. And I think he stole, especially Game 6 and 7, where we couldn't score any goals. We got like 1 or 2, I forget what it was. But I think we're just running into Jonathan Quick. It doesn't help that we ran into the LA Kings 3 years in a row, right? That doesn't help at all. That's a tough team to draw. But that's what I mean. I don't care if we're a President's Trophy winning team or an 8 seed. And it looks like we're going to be a playoff team, so that's why I don't need to stop this simulation. We'll just get there, take a look at the stats, last-minute line changes that you guys can come up with, and then hope to God that we can do something in the playoffs. I have to end this decade run in San Jose. It has to end on some sort of high note. The President's Trophies are nice, but San Jose is... since 2003. It's now 2023. 20 years of failure. 20 years of being in the playoffs. Missing maybe a few times under the reins of GM Superbman for a minor rebuild. So what, like 2 seasons not making the playoffs in 20 years and no Stanley Cups, 1 trip to the finals? Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie for the San Jose Sharks. All right, so 31, 16, and 5. See what I mean? We're going to be a playoff team. So I don't have to worry about where we end. We'll just get up to the end here, and we'll get you guys to look at the stats. Anthony McFarland, what did he have last year, McFarland? Like 60 points, 30 and 30, something like that. And then Walton would have like the 60 assists, like 5 goals or something. 60-point seasons, 70-point seasons. And then Joffrey Lupul would be down at like 50, something like that. 27 goals and like 20 assists or something. Yeah. So we'll see what Mangia Payne is doing. Very interesting this year. We're starting to win some games. Go on a nice run. That trading asset, that juicy trading asset that we have. I know you guys have plenty of ideas for that, but just wait. I know you're going crazy in the comments. You got to wait, though. Got to wait to see what our stats say. I showed you guys the stats at the beginning of the video. We're going to see them again. If I need a defensive player, I will get a Shea Weber and replace Morrison. Just get a stud back there. Even though I think our team is already great defensively, especially if the stats stay the same. If our goals against is still where it is, we have a good defensive team. But just maybe it's depth then, because we're going to have that injury, right? So superstar, depth, or, a little bit of both, like, 2 depth players, or, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. All right, so let me it really doesn't matter. I'll just go to the QMJHL here, 6 weeks for forwards, and we are at the trade deadline. 38, 16, and 6 has actually turned into a very respectable record here. Reed Boucher, look at that. That's why I don't want to break up that second line. You can say what you want about them having, you should move them up to the first line, blah, blah, blah. I like that captaincy argument about Michael Del Col. He may not have showed up in the playoffs the last 2 years, but him and Reed Boucher, they tear it up on the second line. Maybe they've been catching up to them because maybe Mangia Payne's not having the greatest year, but there's going to be the same argument that I used for Joffrey Lupul last year. I don't care if he has Joffrey Lupul type points. If we're having this kind of season, I'm fine with that. Currently, we have won, what is that, 4 or 5? We lost a few games in there, but you know what? Yeah, since the All-Star break, we have won a lot. All right, so I just want to do a recap, but I want to make sure I don't lose that, so hang on 1 second. All right, that's much better. So here we are, 41, 16, and 7. It's actually turned into a very good season. I'd say we're at the top. There you are, 89 points in the Western Conference, and the West is killing the East this year. Well, actually not, just 2 teams. So we're actually leading the NHL. Now, whether or not that's because of the trade, or it's just because the San Jose Sharks are a good team. Remember, we started off 6-1-1 last year with this team. We won the President's Trophy. So we know we have something here. It's just about finding the right piece to get us that little bit farther. So the President's Trophy would be nice. And look what's even better. The LA Kings, after they beat us, our rival, they're at the bottom. I remember the retirements. They saw guys like Jeff Carter, Dustin Brown. They lost 5 or 6 key players. So it's a pity that we can't get revenge against them. But it's also good that we're going to see a new team finally. We can maybe get by Jonathan Quick. Not have a freaking elite goalie in the first round. So, we're at the trade deadline. We're not going to go any farther in this video, but I will show you guys the stats. What do I want to do first? I could go to Edelline just to... Yeah, no, he didn't grow. I was wondering if any of the first liners would grow if they had a good season. All right, so we'll go to Stats Central, team standings. All right, so I don't remember the numbers. So 2.14, I think, was the goals against was the important one. So goals for per game. that skyrocketed, all right? So it's going to be very interesting to see these stats for Mangiapane. But all I know is our goals for per game has now gone above 3 goals for per game. If this continues, because I know our goals against is going to be good, this is looking very good. Our goals against per game, 2.28. We might, again, we've seen this in the regular season, right? But to bring this into the playoffs, we're looking great right now. Both those categories looking fan-fucking-tastic. Power play percentage, we're up there, 5th in the NHL. Penalty kill percentage, it's been getting better. I think 84, I think it's risen. So it could be a little bit better, but the overall goals against, 2nd in the NHL, I wouldn't fret. You have to allow goals somewhere. We don't allow many 5-on-5, I suppose. It's just the penalty kill. Don't worry about that. And you know what? Time shorthanded. We are the 8th most disciplined team. So Morrison, I'm sure, contributes to that a little bit. But we're also a President's Trophy winning team right now. So make of it what you will. Home, we are 19-8-4, and away 22-8-3, and our last 10 8-0-2. So definitely getting hot at the right time. So that's good news. Everything's looking good. But I remember last year everything was looking good at this time, right? And then we ran into one good team. So let's see the stats. This is going to be the big tell. Joffrey Lupul or Mangiapane? Should we get another winger? Another first-line winger? Or has Mangiapane found his future here after not getting a chance to play at all this year? So Anthony McFarland, look at this now. Point per game player on that first line. DeCall, basically point per game. So this is what we had. Remember when Logan and... no, it wasn't even Logan. Logan didn't have this kind of season. It was Joe Thornton and Joe Pavelski when we had them 1-2. They were like pointy game players. Logan came back down to like 65, 70 points. So we have once again our 2 centers, first and second line center, point per game basically. All right. Reed Boucher, 47 points. Mangiapane, 44 points in 43 games played. He's a point per game player. So you guys need to make your decisions about what we need to do with Andrew Mangiapane. I think he's great for the first line. Plus 19, 26 goals in 43 games played. He's not a 90 overall first line amazing superstar like I know a lot of you guys want, like an Alexander Ovechkin, but you know, like, we're 10 years in. He's 26 years old. He's coming into his prime. He's at $1 million per year. I think it's another steal, just like a Reed Boucher, another steal. Now, we could still go out and get somebody else and move him down, right? But that's the decision we need to make now. Pete Walton still doesn't score the goals, but has 2 snipers to deal the puck to now. 2 legitimate snipers. Imagine if this guy had a whole season behind him. Jesus, man. Sean Couturier, 43 points on that second line. So don't overlook what Sean Couturier does. He plays with Reed Boucher and DeCall, who are numbers 2 and 3 on points. So Couturier, you know, that good defensive player, he's a +6. I like him there. And if we're going to move Mangiapane down, then Couturier goes down. It's a filter, or it's a trickle effect kind of thing. Palmieri, 4th line, 22 points. Penalty kill. Ernie, 20 points. Mantha, 20. All right, so here's our depth players. Don't worry about that. The third line's not getting many goals. We don't get them for goals. They're going to get the depth goals in the playoffs, hopefully, with our outstanding offense now. So it's the combination. And defense, there you go. So no one's really going outstanding on defense. It's pretty well-rounded. Like, Konechev hasn't taken off yet. And, okay, so he's come back down to earth a little bit. He's not at 1.54, whatever it was before. You guys made a good point about Linglet. I actually forgot about that. He wasn't doing too good, but he got his stats back up to decent. So that's good news. So I could get a backup goalie, but he's pulled it together. But Ernest Chiarelli, 2.11 goals against average, 36, 11, and 4. Save percentage of 92.83, 7 shutouts. I just want to show you, I started this video talking about him being the best goalie in the world. 4 years now, 69 games played, 68, 68. It's going to be another 68 probably. Look at these stats, 40 wins, 40 wins. 2.06, 2.1, 2.26, 2.1, save percentage, 9.28, 9.3, 9.92, 0.928, 7, 11, 7, 6. Look at the top right corner. Career games, 378, career wins, 214, 44 career shutouts already. This guy is putting together a Martin Brodeur, Patrick Waugh type resume, and he's only, what, how old? 27 years old. Oh my God, what a draft pick. Ernest Chiarelli. All right, so we're going to end it right there. What do you guys think? I like our team right now, but we still do have that trading assets. I'll just quickly bring this up one more time. Roster moves. So I'm actually okay with this team going into the playoffs, but when injuries happen for a Stanley Cup team, if we want to win the Stanley Cup, we're going to deal with probably let's say for argument's sake, 2 injuries up front, 2 injuries on the back end. So defense and offense. All right, if we do that, we should cover our bases. So Thomasek can play as an offensive player. Brendan Lemieux can be serviceable. Same thing with Duclair. All right, but do we have any defensemen who can go in there? Defensemen, it goes down very heavily. So when you're talking about making that trade, it may be a smart idea to trade away Thomasek, keep McCarron, Lemieux, and Sundin as our depth for the forwards, but trade Thomasek for maybe 2 depth defensemen who are like 81, 82 overall veterans who can come up when the injuries happen, because we know they're going to happen. All right, so I'm going to put that question to you guys. What should we do with Thomasek? Trade for the superstar, trade for that stud that you guys think that we need, which I know you're going nuts in the comments, or stack the depth for the injuries. We already have the forwards in Lemieux, Sundin, Duclair, McCarron. We can start these guys, right? They're already listed as 4th liners or better, but we don't have the defensive prospects. So I'd like to trade Thomasek for 2 depth defensive players. So let me know what you guys think about that plan. All right, I'll just show you quickly one last thing, the standings for the season. Hang on a second here. Oh, you know what? We'll do this. There you go. Wins, Chiarelli's up at the top. Points, are we up there? McFarland up there at 67, so finally he's coming into his own. Assists, are we up there? I'm sure Walton will get up there sooner or later. But look at that, goals. McFarland and Boucher, 31 and 30. And if Mangiapane had played the whole season, he'd be up there at 30 as well. So we have like 340 goal scorers now, all right, and we're at the top of the NHL. So I think we're a better team than last year. The trade for Joffrey Lupul seemed to work out, so let's not go crazy, but I still will listen to your opinions. Remember, this is the last year, so we need to have the best possible chance going into the playoffs. What do you guys think that involves? Let me know, and I will see you in the next one.